folks, John Kelleher, Veritas Combat Arts and Fitness Academy. This is part of our 360 Leadership Outside the Dojo Safety Series. And today I wanted to talk again about school safety. Kids are going back to school this week, so I wanted to talk about a little bit of things, remind you of common sense things, but that you may have forgotten because it's been a few months since school. So yesterday we talked about pedestrians who walk to school. Today we wanted to talk about school bus safety, about safety tips for kids if they're driving to school or from school on the bus. First thing that we wanted to talk about today, again, it goes to being aware of your environment and avoiding distractions. When you're traveling on the bus to school, from school, if you're waiting at the bus stop, put your cell phones away, take your MP3 headphones out of your ear. It's a lot safer. You're standing on a busy traffic. There's a lot of traffic at that hour going to school, and if you're distracted, if you're not looking, you could get hit by a car. If you have earphones and you're listening to loud music, you wouldn't hear if someone told you that there was a car coming or a horn beeped or something like that. So use common sense, be smart, but tell your kids when they're standing at the bus stop waiting for the bus and they're on a corner near traffic, they need to be paying attention at all times. It's just common sense safety. The second tip we have is when you're crossing the street near a bus, always make sure that you cross in front of the bus, not the back, not the sides. If you have to pass in front of a bus, the bus driver's best line of sight view for you is through the front windows. So when you're going to walk in front of a bus, always do it from the front. Tip number 3, if you do happen to drop something as you're getting on the bus or exiting the bus, make sure that you tell the driver that you dropped it and that you're going to look for it before you go and look for it. Because when you're sitting in that driver's seat, the side views are obscured and obstructed. You can't see much from the side or the back. You can't see virtually anything. And if you're going to be going near the tires, or God forbid, don't do this, but if you did, you're going to go under the bus to retrieve something you might have dropped. Make sure the bus driver knows you're there before you go to look for anything. So if you drop something, there's nothing that you could drop that would be worth losing your life for. So make sure if you drop something, you're going to go get it. Tell the bus driver beforehand, and make sure he says it's okay before you go to get it. Next tip is when you're on the bus. This is the last tip. We have 4 quick tips today. When you're on the bus, make sure that you stay seated at all times and make sure that you're facing forward. It sounds very, very simple, but school buses, they're driving through heavy traffic a lot of times, and bus drivers have to stop and start abruptly many times. If you're twisted in your seat and the bus driver, God forbid, has to slam on the brakes or does impact something, if you're not seated in your seat, you can become a projectile. You can go flying down the aisle. You can smash into the back of the seat in front of you. Very important. Sit in the seat, face forward, keep your feet down, and be courteous. Be courteous to the bus driver. They're working hard. They have a very important job. They have a lot of things going on that they have to pay attention to, and they don't need to be working extra overtime just to keep the people on the bus in line. So be a leader. Again, just talking about using martial arts discipline and skill outside the dojo. Always be respectful, courteous, and disciplined in everything you do. We hope these video tips helped. Again, the kids going back to school, stay safe. Parents, please sit your kids down and just go over these things. I know many of them are things that you know, but the kids may have forgotten them, and you can't stress safety tips too many times. It's better to be prepared than to be sorry. So again, this is our 360 Leadership, back to school safety tips, and